About now, you're probably asking yourself, how in the world did you end up watching someone throw chickens into a crocodile pit? Well, that's a funny story. It all started when a handful of folks were willing to say yes to travel to Côte d'Ivoire, West Africa. Yours truly went, along with the missus, under the leadership of missionaries Brent and Shelley Teague, to help out some of our brothers and sisters in the Lord. Bob Coleman was there, along with Mike Corbett and Christopher Spritz. Ollie Faust was a first-timer, but Heather Kidd and Hannah Gray, they were veterans. We also took a young lady named Skylar Cook, but she was going to stay there for about a year to check out the full missions experience. It's more than 20 hours of travel, so we have to do some things to entertain ourselves.
Spanks a lot, Bob. Spanks a lot. I've got a foolproof plan to try to get upgraded to first class.
A shame. Horrible.
It may work.
Oh, don't knock it until you try it. I was able to sleep like a baby. Skylar, do you know why I love this country?
Why?
Hand sanitizer everywhere. When we arrived in West Africa, we hit the ground running, driving northeast to Abanguru to build a tabernacle that the Assemblies of God felt was of urgent need, as it will house Bible college students within 2 months.
Tim Teague.
Yes.
These are heavier than they look.
As the clouds rolled in, we realized that our time was limited.
Why do you not like teams to come at the end of August?
Because it's still rainy season. But a certain Pastor Llewellyn loves it cool.
Oh, it feels good! Yeah!
Ouais, quand on dit, il peut venir.
Pastor!
Hello!
Hello!
My pastor!
Say hello to my friend!
Yes!
Yes! Yes! Would you look at that?
My papa is cool, the best man. I need some soap. You have soap? It's a beautiful walk in the Ivorian rainy season. I love for teams to come in September.
So we headed in for lunch, and we hoped that we could catch a break from the rain.
I need the key. I need the key to the car.
Welcome.
Thank you. Fish, what do you have, missionary?
I have rabbit here.
Well, it's raining, so we can't finish putting the roof on the tabernacle. We have to go, and we have to get out of town before it gets too dark. Maybe we could have finished if somebody else wouldn't have come on the trip this year. Who could it have been? Maybe you?
We went back to the capital because staying behind preparing supplies for the next phase of the trip was Olive and the ever-joyful Hannah.
I'm just kidding.
The next day, we had the long drive to base camp in Dalawa. And you don't have to worry. There is absolutely no shortage of food on the roads in Africa.
What is this guy? No, this guy. What's he got? What's he got? What is it? Brent, what's wrong with this picture? Coke? It just should not be. Chris, you going to the Taco Bell?
Yeah. Taco Bell.
Okay, OT, how long will it take us to get there?
To get Dalwa,
Yes, to Dalawa.
like, I know you have to get like 40 minutes.
40 minutes. I thought you said it was going to take a year.
No, it's finished now. The year is small now.
Oh, the year is
So
small.
You finished 20 minutes, so left 40 now.
So
Because it was 1 hour.
1 year. 1 year.
No, yeah. Hour.
Hour, no year.
We finally made it to base camp just after dark so we could get a good night's sleep and ready for church the next morning. Olive and Hannah had the opportunity to minister in song, but we needed our sound man.
Bob, we need you. Sound man, we need you. You're the sound man.
But Bob got us hooked up.
I am who you say I am. You are for me.
They also had the opportunity to dance. But who would have ever guessed that the first accident to happen on the entire trip would happen during the church service when someone punched my wife in the face? But overall, it was a great church service with some familiar tunes. Nothing is going to stop Heather from finding those babies.
Hey.
And nothing's going to stop the group from eating an interesting African church lunch.
Brent called it a meatball, but it's an egg ball. Good. Good.
It's the Colonel's Ivorian Specials.
The red juice at Amber's wedding, that's what it was, Bisa.
What is it called?
Bisa.
Bisa.
Oh my goodness, this is amazing.
You know that's fermented, right?
I don't care.
You get smashed. At the pastor's house.
In Niger, we use this for communion. Wow.
That's
There's
amazing.
no grape juice.
That is so good.
Well, that was wine that we had today, I think.
Yes. Elle, c'est poisson. Para elle, c'est poulet. Poisson, ici.
Beef and pistachio sauce.
Mike.
What did I just eat?
Pastor Brett ate porcupine cooked in a pistachio sauce.
They said it was beef at first, then he changed his mind.
Well, they didn't want to scare the American off, so they said beef. It's like beef.
Check that one off my list. Porcupine.
Just like at my house, you can't leave until you have a dance-off. And the pastor wins the competition because he's the oldest. And later that night,
Gina don't like him in her room?
He's not my friend.
we hit the sack because tomorrow is another Tabernacle Day.
Finish my coffee and then load that tabernacle up. Another Monday morning. Dirty-handed girl?
Let me touch you.
Get away from me.
Let me touch you. But I love you, Pastor.
Get away from me. Gross. Quit touching me. She touched me. Teamwork makes the dream work, Hannah.
That's true, I'm 20.
Hannah, why is your back all wet?
Is it?
Pastor break.
You like Hannah?
Yes.
Hannah's nice.
My best friend.
Best friend.
Hannah's your best friend?
Best friend. Mayor on me.
No. What's happening, Teague?
It's starting to rain again. I guess it's the rainy season.
This is the coolest weather we've ever had.
Oh yeah, gorillas in the mist weather, but you know.
It was this morning.
Yeah.
Strong.
Okay, maybe I should make it strong.
It's raining, Brett. It's raining. It's a rainy season.
And you're worried about my drone?
Well, I'm not too worried about the drone. I don't know how we're going to get 10 on the building.
We can do it.
Did you guys wash your hands already? Oh, yes. That's
A little bit of rain.
I did not wash my hands. Hey, where you been? Playing lemonade.
A little bit of rain. All right, Hannah, what does our meat pie need?
Some powdered sugar.
And then it makes it into what?
A donut.
Well, that
so
is-
sweet.
It is good.
Is it just me or is it cold out here?
A little bit chilly for Africa. I bless the rains down in Africa. Da, 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 I don't know the rest of the word. What'd you say, Chris? Where you going, Chris? Where you going? We got work to do. I don't care if it's rainy season. Rain. We got part of the roof done. Started raining on us. Just part of the roof, about half, almost half. So with it raining on us and we're not completely done yet, let's see what Pastor Teague has to say.
Hey, Brett, you came in the rainy season.
What's wrong with that? It's beautiful out there. Beautiful. We're half done. It's dance-off time.
So he went to the house to pray that the rain would stop, and he apologizes because he, at some point in his prayer, he fell asleep.
Je voudrais dire à chacun de vous beaucoup merci.
But thank you to everyone.
Ils sont venus, vous voyez leurs habits, ils sont sales. Mais c'est pour la gloire de Dieu.
So thank you for giving glory to
On a un
God.
chant en français que nous chantons.
We have a song in French that we sing.
Et nous disons, je sais que vous le connaissez, nous sommes un dans un lien d'amour.
I know it exists in English too. It's we're one in the bonds of love. Is that in English? Or?
Nous sommes un dans un lien d'amour.
We may have known this song in English, but only Mike understands French enough to be able to sing along with the Africans.
Notre esprit est uni avec l'esprit de Dieu. Nous sommes un dans
It was perhaps the most emotional tabernacle dedication ceremony that we've ever seen. It was a moment too sacred to keep the camera on, as the pastor knelt down in the dirt with tears, giving thanks to God for our team coming to help build a tabernacle. And of course, we can't leave without a group picture. We need to head home really fast because tomorrow we will be building a tabernacle in the week's most remote location. The ladies will be staying at base camp to prepare for ministry later in the week. So Gina, what did the church give you today as a gift?
They gave me this beautiful portrait of myself.
That's beautiful, honey.
Merci beaucoup.
How are we going to get this home? Because I want to hang that up in the church.
No.
I found my African counterpart. He's video and everything, like I do. Work site number 3, and what's happening?
It's raining. I think it's rainy season.
So 3 for 3, we've got rained on.
Yep.
Of course, before we left, we had to eat because the ladies worked so hard in preparing things.
The choice between goat and goat? Goat and goat. All right.
Grilled goat or stewed goat?
I think I'll have the goat. Mike, are you enjoying your KFG?
Yes, I am.
Bob?
Best goat I've ever eaten.
Is this your first goat?
Best.
Best. Fresh lemon squeezed onto papaya. Tastes like a limeade from Sonic.
No better than that.
It's good stuff.
Could I try a chunk? No.
And it is Africa, so one final dance-off to end the day.
Mike, you have a limit, don't you? You got a drinking problem there, Mike?
She said it's hot on the foot.
I said to switch cups. I told you right there, so I'm not afraid of the water. It's been boiling for like 45 minutes. So.
The next day, we built a tabernacle at base camp where we have been staying.
It's time to get to work.
I got a screw loose.
Mike! I think I just heard the ice cream man.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah, I like that. That's
You all want ice cream, American? You want ice cream, Birch bread?
That was a good looking ice cream, huh?
Yeah, great.
I chose poorly. Good deal, David.
He's ready to put this roof on, but it's a little bit cloudy. Yes, it is.
Hey, I think Teak said something about it being the rainy season.
Are we stopping for the rain again? Day 3? Why aren't we working on the tabernacle?
Hey, Brett, it's the rainy season.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
We're sure.
Much like the 41st day of Noah, the Lord did stop the rains to give us enough time to finish the tabernacle. Over the past few days, Bob Coleman and myself have worked off a lot of body fat. While the men were putting up tools and drying off, the girls were ministering to ladies from the local church.
What you got, Heather?
A baby.
A baby!
Happiest I've ever been in my entire life.
Wait a minute, happier than when you had your baby?
I mean, it's super close.
Golden Graham breakfast with Pastor Teague.
You're going with the roundies? Roundies. Like little roly-polies.
Hey, Brett, it's the rainy season. I don't know if you realize that, but
Difficult to build tabernacles.
it's really hard. That's the reason I don't normally have construction teams in August.
You have vacation teams instead?
It's rainy season.
And this would prove to be the most difficult of all the tabernacles, maybe all the tabernacles that we've ever built, because the church had already put a wall around it before we could put the roof up, and they were off by about a foot from being square.
This is the last roof that we do as an American mission that's not a tabernacle, so it's also one for the record books. Sorry, Tuxedo, for this special kit, but thank you.
Highly special and mosquito infested.
Yes.
Tiny little robins that carry, oh, they're more like vampire bats.
Those are some big mosquitoes, aren't they?
Yes.
How big are they, Chris?
They're like a hummingbird size.
What do they carry?
Zika, Ebola, sinus infections, colds, diarrhea. Huh? Small babies.
It's the African stork.
While we were trying to avoid malaria, the girls were trying to avoid having their hearts stolen as they worked with these wonderful children today. Meanwhile, back at the work site,
yes. Get your dress on. Making sure your hat's on. Onion. And then chicken. Potato. French fries. Oh yeah. Princess.
Tomatoes, salade.
Oh, she knows good English, don't she?
Tout ça, vous allez manger. Tout ça là, c'est ça.
Onions.
Right.
Movie stars there. Oh no! La ficha. Chicken. Yeah, fish. Oh yes. Hey.
it's time to play Guess What's in the Bag? Is it rice? Or could it be cassava root? Or a dead body? If you guessed a dead body, you are correct.
Is that a dead body in there? Oh, what is it? What do they got? A goat? Oh, they got a goat? Oh, pig. A pig. Pig? Okay. How do you say pig in French? I thought it was in French. Some pork. Okay. Okay. That's heavy. Wow. That's heavy. Hot coffee and fish for breakfast. I have so much DEET on me that my skin feels like it's melting. And I see
them, they're huge.
And they're coming around me more than anyone else. I've seen smaller bald eagles. Mike, come here. What'd you ask me?
Where's the bug spray?
Where's the bug spray?
Yeah.
So it's on your chin.
thank God we were able to joyfully finish the work.
What'd they find?
Little viper inside the hollow brick.
A Dodge Viper?
No, not Dodge, but...
Did they lock up the? They lock the van?
They did. They got it locked up.
They got it locked up.
But you can.
Huh? Maybe it ought to be rolled up first.
Oh yeah.
Where's Mike? Mike!
I need more power, Captain.
Hey Gina.
Yes.
I called the first 2 showers. The first 3.
Now that the work is finished, we have a day off, we can go to the beach, and then on Sunday we have a church of 2,000 to 3,000 members that we're able to participate in. But that's when things went awry. The brakes went out in the leading vehicle, and the other 2 vehicles almost got into an accident that could have been fatal. I'll let Missionary Teague explain what happened.
Well, we had a close call on our way back to Abidjan from Dalawa. We're thankful for the Lord's protection. All 3 cars passed this big truck full of wood planks and everything, a semi. And there were 2 other cars behind us, and after we got around him, we went to the right around this big pothole at the bottom of the hill. The other 2 cars went to the left, but the big truck was wanting to gain speed, thought all the cars would go to the right, so he went to the left and he plowed through the 2 cars. And next thing we know, these 2 cars come shooting past us, and 1 car went between my vehicle and the vehicle that Spriggs was driving, and the other car all mashed up went behind me. So we literally had cars flying beside us and between us, and just a miracle we weren't touched.
What time was that? Oklahoma
That
time?
was 11 a.m. in Oklahoma, so if you were praying on Friday morning, we appreciate your prayers.
If you can ignore the girls coming back from the ladies' room, you can see how close the accident was in the background behind the vehicles at the bottom of the hill. So we had to cram as many people as we possibly could in 2 vehicles, and a couple of us stayed behind.
Brent, you will come back for us, right?
I hope so.
I hope you come back. Where is my hair? Huh.
So we only got halfway to our destination, but it's not a bad city to get stuck in. They do have some of the finer hotels in all of Côte d'Ivoire, and some of the best dining that we could find. And Yamoussoukro happens to be the place where the famous basilica was built.
Yamoussoukro, doo-doo, 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 doo-doo.
And before we left town, of course, we did have to see the crocodiles, and that's how we ended up feeding chickens to a crocodile pit. The missionary just assumed that they fed chickens like you see at the grocery store, but when we arrived, to all of our shock and horror, we realized, wow, these are live chickens they're feeding to the crocodiles.
Go! Run!
After seeing the crocodiles, we had to drive the rest of the way to Abidjan.
It's rainy season, Brett. It's rainy season.
And the next day was church. And Pastor Newface saved his bulletin from when he was here at Tuxedo a few months ago.
In that
ask yourself, what is this strange round thing next to the pulpit? Well, it's absolutely nothing. We call it a clock, but church started here at 7 o'clock. We got here at 7:30 this morning, and we were out at 11:55. So for us, it was 4.5 hours. For everyone else, it's been 5 hours.
Do you like my new sunglasses? They were half off. I got these for partly cloudy days. Partly cloudy days. Yeah, that's as good as it gets. Bob.
Huh?
Zip it, Bob.
What? We did have dinner at a few nice places like the Saigon, and Shelley was a great cook. So this is the only mission trip that I ever came home, and I weighed more than when I left. But basically, we headed home on the great Ethiopian Airlines after that. Just in case you're curious as to whether tabernacle evangelism actually does work, here's a testimony from an area that we were at just a couple years ago.
I'll tell you a testimony about Fakobli, where your church built a tabernacle recently, just 12 months ago. Had an opportunity to go back there and to evangelize with an African church. In fact, we joined with many churches, and for 10 days we projected films, including in the place where you built your tabernacle, in 6 villages every night for 10 days. And for 5 days we spoke in the main town of Fakobli. We've received a report back and have been told now that 5,300 people have been added to the churches in this region from this evangelism. But one of the most exciting testimonies is the head witch doctor of that region. He and many other fetishers, people who are involved in fetishism, came and prayed against us in their sacred forest. They prayed that it would rain, and it rained cats and dogs the entire time we were there, except for 3 hours every night when it came to the worship and the preaching. And on the first night of the preaching, the witch doctor in his dark forest was praying against us, but he heard the word of God out of Matthew that there are 2 paths. One leads to ruin, one leads to life. Now we've received a report 2 weeks after our evangelism. He came in front of our Assemblies of God church in Fakobli, the town we were in, and got on his knees before the church. He had 2 wheelbarrows full of masks and fetishes and said, I sacrificed and pled with the ancestral spirits to stop this preaching, but I heard the message that first night and it pierced my heart. So he broke the masks, the ancient masks of the Wobe people, destroyed their fetishes, burned them, and said, please show me how to get onto the path of life. Amazing things happening in the Ivory Coast, and Bartlesville is right here with us. We appreciate you.
Tuxedo Assembly of God, I want to thank you for being a part of this eternal work. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. This is our first Africa mission trip 12 years ago, and since then we have succeeded in building 40 tabernacle units. To God be the glory. And that is our 2018 mission trip report.
Oh no, we brought rainy season home with us.
Magic.
What did he do behind me?
I made this.
Who's my baby? He's my baby. Hi, beautiful.